Um, Brilliant. So what we're going to do, we're going to warm up, then we're going to go through three exercises like we normally do. Um, Three exercises we're going to do today. So I always do lower body, upper body, core. That way you're hitting pretty much everywhere. Okay. So we're going to do the first one. We're going to do a knee up on each side. So you're going to raise your knee on the left, raise your knee on the right, and then do a squat. You can squat as deep as you feel comfortable. So if you feel like you can squat deep, please do. If it feels uncomfortable, just squat a little bit. Okay. Um,
Ryan,
yeah. So yes, Carol.
I seem to have sort of, I know, pulled something in my hip.
Okay.
Um, and I don't really know how much I should or shouldn't be doing, whether I can do anything that doesn't hurt or whether I need to rest it completely. Sort of, I thought it was part of my old problem. It
Mhm.
only happened a couple of days ago. And then sort of yesterday, I realized it wasn't the same place as my old problem, which was hurting anyway.
Okay.
Um, and I was just doing a bit of walking before,
Yeah.
um, and I found that that had made it worse. So yesterday I did like almost nothing, which ends up that I'm walking in total about 1,000 steps a day, which to me doesn't sound like a good thing either. I don't really know how much to rest it, how long to rest it for, whether I should walk, whether I shouldn't walk, whether I should then, after a certain amount of time, try and walk, whether I should do exercises that don't hurt it. I just don't really know what to do.
Yeah. So in terms of exercise, see what we're trying to do is always make sure we're not working through any pain. That's like number one. Obviously, if you're doing something and it's not hurting in the moment, but then the next day it feels like it's aggravated, then obviously, unfortunately, with that one, it is a little bit of trial and error with that sense. The best thing we can do is try and move your body in the least painful positions that we can, and also work areas that aren't in pain. Because if you, for example, if you can move other areas that feel fine, so for example, like reaching up for the sky
Yeah,
and leaving
that
the hip
that
on.
I found the reaching up bit also, the last time I did it, that actually made me feel so ill for the next couple of days because I have trouble lifting up as well. So
Yeah,
yeah, I thought I was all right, but three
yeah,
days of sickness later, I found I really wasn't all right
mm,
because the way I normally do things is I do about 5 repetitions, and then if the next day I feel all right, the day after that, I'll add a couple more. And so I'm finding that the pyramid system, because I don't have sort of 2 weeks building up to it, it's not it doesn't work very well if it doesn't agree with me. I think at the time I'm all right, and I'm just so not all right. And then the next week, it's a different one. So I'm just finding the whole pyramid system doesn't fit with the way that I found I can increase exercises, which is 1 or 2 rep increase.
the I'm going to be very honest with you, Carol. So the reality is that on this Saturday class, the reason
Yes,
why I do it as a pyramid system
yeah,
more than anything is that it is a class
yeah,
base. So I'm
yeah,
trying to hit everyone's different goals because
yeah,
some people need to be probably getting more reps, 15, trying to boost that way. Some people might
yes,
stay at the 5 rep range and just do that.
yeah,
Um, in terms of that's why when we're doing these classes, I always want you to think like if I'm getting people to do 5, 10, 15, but
mm,
you feel like you'd be more comfortable doing 5, rest, 5, rest,
yeah,
5, then I want
yeah.
you to do that.
Yeah, I think maybe I'll try that.
Yeah.
I'll try
Um,
that.
that's much more traditional training, like strength training. Ideally, if I was working with everyone one-on-one, we would be doing more of that. Like traditional, we got 5, next week we try and do one more repetition, and we'd be using bands and weights, and I'd be able to watch for technique and make sure everything's okay. Uh,
Yeah.
all I can suggest from here in this group one is
Yeah.
always gauge what feels right for you. So I would just stick to the low reps for now,
Right.
see how they feel, and
Right.
then next time you stick to it again. The best
Yeah.
we can do in this situation, and the reason I change the exercises every week as well, is because once again, some people might need different
Yeah.
exercises to others. So I want you to use this class more to kind of find what exercises felt good for me,
Yeah.
and then you can start to tailor it specifically to you. Okay.
Yeah.
And then yeah, and try and do our best that way. But yeah, we'll just try and keep it easy,
Right.
move the body. If
Right.
anything feels painful, I'd pull back.
Yeah.
In terms of any movements today, so with the squat one, the idea was here are the moves, and then I'll show our aggressions. The first move was going to be a knee raise, followed by a squat. Okay, so if you feel like that's going to be too much, maybe you just involve the knee raise. You can hold something to help with stability as well. The second move was going to be an overhead press. Okay, but if that feels like it's going to be too much, I just want you to raise your arm up in front of you. Okay, it's going to do a forward raise. That should take it a little bit off as well. And then the final one was going to be a twist. Okay, so the more bent over you are, the harder it will be. But
Right.
twisting there will be harder, but you can just twist from there as much as you feel feels right for you.
Okay.
And they're the three I'd pick. I'd go for just 5 repetitions today on when you're doing them, and just go at your own pace. If you feel you need longer breaks, take longer breaks. If you feel like one of the other exercises was more beneficial, we can keep doing that one. Okay. And then this is for everyone as well. Eventually, this is your class. And because we are virtually, obviously, you are able to turn the camera off as well. If you want to do your own 3 exercises that you go, based on what we've done, these are the 3 that I've found feel good for me. Please do. Okay. You don't like if you've got things that you feel better for you, do them. I'm just going to always be trialing different exercises out for everyone, so we can all find something that works for us. Okay.
Right.
So is that okay, Carol?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know whether afterwards you could sort of advise me as to roughly what I should do with, I should say rest it completely or keep pushing to see what I can do, because I don't really know what to do. I don't know whether just to stop walking completely like I did yesterday, and when to stop not walking at all. I
Mhm.
just, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just not really
What we'll
sure.
do, I'll get started so that way we can then let everyone go at the end, and then at the end I'll try and answer as best I can,
Okay,
and we'll see what's best.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Not a problem. Right. I'm just gonna make sure everyone's muted and then we'll get going. So brilliant. Okay. Lovely stuff. Right. So we'll just start. I saw everyone like march on the spot. Just get yourselves nice and loose, ready to go. So we are going to do the knee raise on both sides, followed by a squat. Okay. Then it's going to be alternating overhead pressing. Like I said, you can raise up in front of you. And then we're going to do the twisting, hit that core. Okay. Just do what you can. Okay. Limit the range of motion if it feels too much. Okay. So when we're ready, then we're going to go for the 5 repetitions. And 3, 2, 1, and go. So we're going to raise the knee up. Left, right, squat, left, right, squat, left, right, squat, left, right, squat, left, right, and squat. Brilliant. Then with the arms, now if you've got weight, you can add weight. You don't have weight, you don't need to, but we are going to raise our arm up and press. Then you're going to go left, switch, right, switch. Again, you can do raise as well. So you can alternate, decide which one feels right for you. So press, 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 one more, press, press. Okay, then we're going to lower it down to the floor. And then we're going to do a twist. Okay, so the more upright you are, the less difficult it should be. So it's twist, or you can be more hinged over and twist. Okay, twist, twist, twist. Okay, lovely stuff. That's it. Cool. So 5 of each. Okay. If you're not sure of the moves, just do the 5 again. Okay. But if you feel good, we'll go up to 10. Do that again. Okay. So take your time always. Just go at your own pace. But if you feel ready to go, then go for 10 reps in 3, 2, 1, and begin. So knee, knee, squat. Knee, knee, squat. Okay, knee, knee, squat, knee, knee, squat, knee, knee, squat, knee, squat. Well done, everyone. Keep it going. Knee, knee, squat, knee, knee, squat. Wonderful work. Knee, knee, squat. 8. Knee, knee, squat, knee, knee, squat. Okay, lovely stuff. So shake that all off. Okay, keep it nice and loose and just go where you can. Right, lovely. Now, arms. We're going to either alternate press or single arm front raise. Okay, so when we're ready, 3, 2, 1, and begin. So press, switch, press, yeah, press, press. Okay, if you want, you can do the front raise. Okay, I'm just showing for demo purpose. Okay, or press. Lovely work. Keep it going. Brilliant stuff. Okay, brilliant. So we're going to bring it down, and now we're going to do the twisting. Okay, so from here, push the bum back, twist left and right. Okay, so when we're ready, we're going to hinge elbows. The more you hinge, the harder it will be. Keep your core tight, and then twist left, right, left, right. Well done. 6. Well done, everyone. Keep it going. Remember, just do what you can. 8, 9, 10. Okay, brilliant stuff. Okay, so shake that off. Lovely. So, as I was saying at the beginning as well, when it comes to reps, I know we go 5, 10, 15. If you feel like 5, 10, or 15 feel more appropriate, stay there. Stick on that one. Okay, you don't need to be adding for the sake of it. Okay, do what feels challenging and remain there. Okay, so well done. We'll go for 15 in a second. Okay, make sure you have a drink with you as well and just have a little sip in between. Okay, so lovely. Okay. Now, if you want to, if you feel like it's not challenging you, you start to like, obviously the reps are going up again to 15, but you can also add weight to the movements. Okay. If it is challenging you, like I said, stay put. If it's too hard, do less. Okay. And that's it. That's the best we can do. Okay. So 15 reps now. Okay. Just do what you can. So we're going to go knee, squat. Okay. In 3, 2, 1, and begin. So knee, squat. Knee, squat. There you go. Lovely. Knee, squat. Knee, squat. Knee, squat. Knee, squat. Knee, squat. Brilliant stuff. Knee, squat. Great. Keep that up. Knee, squat. Knee, squat. Knee, squat. Knee, squat. Knee, squat. Great work. Knee, squat. Knee, squat. Knee, squat. Okay, there we go. One more. Knee, squat. Okay, brilliant. Okay, shake it off. Then we're going to do the shoulders. So either press above your head or single arm raise. Okay, so when we're ready, 3, 2, 1, and go. So press, switch, press. 1, press, press. 2, press, press. 3, brilliant work. Press, press. 4, lovely. Up, 5. Great work, everyone. 6, up, 7, up, 8. Nice work. Up, and 9. Yeah, well done. Up, 10. Really good work, everyone. Keep it going. Up, 13. Good stuff. 14. One more both sides. There you go. Brilliant. Then lower it down. And make some space. And then you can do your twists. Remember, you can twist upright or more hinged over. When you're ready, we'll go from there. 3, 2, 1, and go. Twist. Twist. 1. 3. Well done. 4. There you go. So remember, at your pace, if it feels too much, you come more upright. Okay. If it feels good, you hinge over more. Nice. 8. 9. Well done. 13. 14. And there we go, 15. Right, so take a second. That was 15 of each, okay? Now, once again, when you feel these, by the end of the workout, we should just have more, should feel a little bit more energetic and a little bit looser, okay? Should not be completely exhausted, should not be super out of breath when you're doing this type of exercise, okay? Just be going, yep, I feel like I've done something, but I feel a bit more energy, okay? If you ever feel too exhausted, you need to pull back. If you feel like you've done absolutely nothing, that's fine. It just means that you probably can do a little bit more, but trial and error. You just got to find what works for you, okay? So, we've done 15. We'll work our way back down to 10 and just go from there, okay? So, it's going to go knee, knee, squat, go from there, okay? So, when we're ready, 3, 2, 1, and go. So, knee, knee, squat. 1. Knee, knee, squat. 2, okay? So, keep going for me, doing your knees and squats. Once you get to 10, you can stop. 4, knee, knee, squat. 5, knee, knee, squat. 6, knee, knee, squat. 7, knee, knee, squat. 8, knee, knee, squat. 9, knee, knee, squat, and 10. Okay, now we're going to do the shoulders. So, when you feel ready, 3, 2, 1, and begin. So, press, and then the other arm. Press, 1, press, press, 2, press, 3. Well done. I see good variations on the screen. Keep that going. Up, 5. Up, 6. Good work, everyone. 7. Up, up. 8. Lovely. 9. Up, up. And 10. Okay, brilliant. And then go for the twist. Okay, so only twist as far as you feel comfortable. Other than that, from here, get yourself ready. 3, 2, 1, and let's go. For 10, left, right, 1, left, right, 2, left, right, 3, left, right, 4, 5, 6, 7, well done, 8, 9, 10. Okay, brilliant. And then from there, we'll take a quick break and then we're going to do the 5 reps and then we're done. Okay, so just remember, use this class, figure out what exercise felt good for me and what rep range felt good for me, and then build from there. Okay, use it to kind of gauge what feels like it's giving you the benefit, and that's what's going to give you the big bang for your buck. Okay, you don't need to do the pyramid every time. Okay, so when we're ready, yeah. So in terms of this, let's do the finish. We'll finish with the final 5, and then we'll have a little chat bit at the very end. Okay, and I'll try and answer questions as best I can. Okay, so all them 3, 5 times each, then we'll have them questions. Okay, so when we're ready, knee, squat, and move forward. Yeah, so 3, 2, 1, and begin. So knee, squat, knee, squat, knees, squat, knees, squat, 4, knee, squat, 5. Okay, then overhead, only 5 reps. Every weight. When you feel ready, 3, 2, 1, and go. So up and switch. 1, up, and again. 2, up, 3, up, 4, up, 5. There we are. And then the twist. Okay, then hinge over, left, right, do it again. Okay, so when we're ready, hinge, 3, 2, 1, and begin. So left, right, 1, left, right, 2, left, right, 3, left, right, 4, left, and right, 5. Okay, and that's it. So have a quick drink, quick second. Now we'll come and answer questions. So. Good.
Oh.
Right. So, well done, everyone. Good work. Now, lovely. So, first of all, the question in the chat from, let me just check my chat. Emily. So, yeah, we change the exercises each week. Main reason I do that, once again, as I was trying to say a bit earlier, is because everyone's at different skill levels. You know, some people probably can do a bit more, some need to do a bit less. People probably have pain and discomfort in different areas. I'll always try and change it up try and do something slightly different each week with the exercises, just to find what feels good for you. And then I basically want everyone to start to tailor the exercises to them. So if you start to go, the one for the lower body last week I liked the core this week, and I like the upper body one the week after. You can then take them three, and that's your workout. Okay. Obviously with this Zoom call, if you want to do something different, like just you can use me just to follow along with the tempo in terms of like this amount of reps rest. But in terms of exercise, if you feel like know what you is going to feel right for you, I want you to then start picking that. Okay. Um, Strength training really has to be specific for what you need. So again, with 10, there's 13 people on the call, it's hard for me to make it specific. So the best way I can do that is by going, here's a lot of different options and exercises, and then you pick what's going to be appropriate. Okay. Lovely. So, obviously, I'll have a chat with you, Carol, in a second. But beforehand, is there anyone that's got questions before we go, just so I can try my best to answer them?
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
just one with the twisting exercise again. Can you put a band in there to do that, or is that not was
yeah. You
yeah,
can add a band. You can add a band. What the band will do, if
yeah,
you pull a band apart slightly and then twist, when you pull a band apart, it just makes you turn your muscles on more. Okay.
okay,
So it's kind of like a switch in the body. When you pull the band, your your brain goes, oh, okay, I better turn on more muscles. So then everything becomes tighter.
yeah,
So you tend to be safer, but it also becomes a bit harder because you've got
yeah,
um and yeah. So if you feel comfortable adding the band, I'd
okay,
absolutely do that. Okay.
okay.
And
Right, we'll give that a go. Thank you.
not a problem. Anyone else? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Could you tell when will this be on the on YouTube to see? When is each class on YouTube?
I'm not, to be very honest with you, Liz. I didn't realize these were getting put on YouTube
Okay.
until the other day when I had a look. I went, oh, I found them.
Yeah, yeah.
The best thing I can do, there's a Tahir's PA Gemma. She
Yeah.
tends to be involved with all that. So
Okay.
I'll message her after this class and just
Mm.
find out when they get uploaded. But
Okay.
I'm going to assume that they'll be uploaded a couple of days after each class.
Because
Um,
I've been doing this for 3 weeks, and I think I can't remember what we did on the first week, and I'd like to sort of go back and look at it
yeah,
all again. You know, so
yeah.
yeah, that's all. I thought I was missing something, but if I'm not, that's fine.
No, that's absolutely fine. I believe it will be the ones from 3 weeks ago, for example, should be on there now.
Oh, okay, brilliant.
I record them just because I got asked to record them, and then basically I'm on to his Zoom account. So after I leave, he's then on there with his P, and they are able to access the recordings and then post them.
Okay.
But I'll message her, see what how long she says.
Okay.
And then if she's not able to contact you, I'll let you know at next week's
Yeah,
session.
fine. Yeah, lovely. Thank you.
Yeah, cool.
Thanks.
Lovely. No problem. Anyone else? No? Okay. I mean, if you're happy, you've got no questions for me, feel free to exit the call and go and enjoy your weekend. And yeah, if you want, if I'll just have another chat with you, Carol, we'll see what we can do. Well done, everyone. Really good work.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Ryan.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very
Bye.
much.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
That's it, smashed it. Thank you, Tim. Right. So I've Yeah, I'm just going to ask you to unmute, Carol.
Oh,
There we go. There we go. Perfect. Thank you.
when I was doing those ones, the
Yeah.
one where you were raising each leg and then squatting, what I found was when I raised my pain is on my left hip.
Okay.
When I raised my right one so that the joint was sort of extended backwards, that
Mhm.
was hurting. Pulling it up
Okay.
forwards wasn't hurting, which is, I presume, why walking hurts, because if I do a step that's a bit too big, then it
Yeah.
obviously extends my hip backwards and then it's painful. But
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether just stopping walking or doing anything is going to, what I say, improve things. But to stop walking, I do nothing, you
Yeah.
know?
I would go that it's like good information. So if that means if it hurts when the trailing leg is behind and then you feel a pain like
It's
here,
in my groin. It's in my groin. So
yeah.
it's, yeah, very, very close to where my leg joins on. The trouble is, when I've tried to prod it, on both sides, it's painful. But it doesn't hurt at all on my right side when I move my leg around. It's only on my left side. So it was hard to work out where exactly it was, because like I said, it's just, it would seem like it's always painful when I prod it. So,
Yeah.
but
So
it was,
a little recommendation I'd have is that's good to know. So I would be when you are walking,
mhm,
try and walk with because you've been aware of that, like walk with small strides, like which
mhm.
will always help. Trying to movement helps promote blood flow. If we can get more blood flow, that tend like throughout the body, that is what can like helps with speed up the recovery process. So I would focus on when if you are outside and you're having a walk, trying to deliberately do smaller steps. Now it might be a bit annoying initially, but we're trying never to work through that pain, like getting that tugging. And it sounds like we might have pulled something in the front of the leg.
Yeah. I mean, the other day when I went out and tried to do some walking, I got to about 1,500 steps before it was getting worse and worse and worse.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never found, I don't know whether it's because of the polymyalgia or whether it's the steroids that I've been taking or whether it's the problems that I've had anyway, walking through something, although that used to work pre polymyalgia, now
Mm-hmm.
all that happens is it just makes things worse and worse and worse. So as soon as I feel something, I have to try and stop
Yeah.
as soon as I can. And so my going outside at the moment is limited to the passage at the side of the house,
Yeah.
because if I go out, I don't know when it's going to start hurting. And then I have all the distance to get back again.
Yeah.
So 1,500 steps isn't very much. The day before that, I think it was about 2.5. And I thought, I didn't realize that it was particularly a problem. It was only when the next day I tried to do it that it was like 1,000 steps less.
Yeah.
And so yesterday I did nothing, but I don't know now whether I should also try icing it or whether I've lost that window of opportunity. Whether it's too
Yeah. So when it comes to ice and so forth, there's a bit of like so there's when it comes to injuries or recovery or so forth, we have what we call like the RICE method, which is rest,
right.
ice,
Yeah,
compression, and
okay.
elevation.
Yes,
The
I
ice
can't
part,
elevate. I can't
yeah,
elevate my hip because the last time I tried doing that, I just pulled everything possible. So unless I lie down,
yeah,
which is, I've got a chair where I don't lie down in it, but my hip is much more extended than a normal chair. But I sit on stools anyway because my hip doesn't like being less than 90 degrees. So unless I spend my day lying down,
hmm,
I'm just not, it would, yes.
yeah. I would be obviously with a lot of these things in order for know exactly what's going on. More like obviously being able to have someone that sees like what your movement looks like in person is probably going to be number one. Yeah. Just because they'll be able to, so like for example, if you sort of physio or someone, they'll be able to see when exactly does the pain happen when you're moving and gauge. A little thing we can do in the meantime, if going outside and doing small strides, it makes you nervous that you might not be able to rest as and when necessary. What I would do is how does it feel if you were to march on the spot? Not like high knees, if you literally
Yeah.
went.
That's what I was doing, but when I move my right leg up
Mhm.
and it stretches on the left, that's when I can feel it. It's just before pain, if you know what I mean. I can feel it. It's uncomfortable, but it's
Yeah.
not actually painful. But I can feel that if I carry on with it, it's going to be painful very soon. If I'm
Yeah.
trying to just stand on one leg, I can feel it then as well, because I was trying different things on the marching and squatting thing. So I was holding on, and when I lift my right leg, I get it about 6 inches off the ground. No, maybe not even six actually. It's probably more like 3 to 4 inches off the ground,
Yeah.
and I can feel it. My knee is nowhere. It's not up at all. It's my knee's hardly bent, and I can feel the stretch starting. That's getting more
Yeah.
and more uncomfortable. But and then when I put it down, it hurts again.
Mm.
But if I lift my left leg after it's had a chance to rest from the right leg stretching,
Yeah.
that feels okay. But as soon as I just stand on my left one again and try and lift my right one, I can feel it all going wrong again.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. The with a lot of that, because obviously if we're feeling pain and discomfort in a small range and we feel like we've not got much movement, it is a bit of a tricky one in terms like from here, the only thing like the best I can recommend from here is one would be to get it looked at, try and see if you can get someone to have it see what they think is the exact muscle or
Mm.
problem. Because sometimes you get like referred pain. So we think the pain is coming, like you feel the pain in the groin, but it might be that something else has tugged and pulled, and we're trying to work where the pain is, when we might find actually it's something in the lower back or something in
Yeah,
the.
I think I know though what I did. I think I know when I did it. I think my hip just sort of got quite left behind, but it wasn't
Okay.
anything big at all.
Yeah.
And it was only afterwards when I was thinking, oh gosh, my hip doesn't feel quite right. And I thought it was that. But like I said, I've got so many other flexor problems that I thought it was part of that, but it isn't. So yeah, it just sort of got left behind a bit and twisted a bit.
Yeah. Well, what I would recommend for now, and might help, is that before you exercise, I would recommend putting some heat on the area. What the heat will do is it will loosen up the muscle and the joint and allow you to hopefully move a bit more freely in that moment. And then I would work in your range. So I know it might seem annoying that just you barely getting your foot off the floor, but it's still movement. We can have you sit down and do marching while sat down. As long as we're moving the body where we can, that's going to promote blood flow rather than just doing absolutely nothing.
Right.
What I would then do is I'd be sat down doing things with my arms as well. So you could literally be doing like arm raises, side and forward, and move if you feel like you need to sit down, move the other parts of your body. Like literally doing this with your head while sat down, it makes up for not being able to do other movements as much. So the heat beforehand is think of it like a warm-up. It's gonna help loosen that tight muscle and that pain. Then afterwards, I would then do as much of the rice method as possible. So I would try and get in as restful a position as possible. You can put the idea behind ice is that it's pain relief. So it doesn't necessarily like heal us because of the ice. What it does is where it can cause some pain relief, it allows you to relax a bit more. And then it's that relaxing or the resting that then helps you recover. So I would put cold on a little bit after, so maybe half an hour after the class, put some cold on and do it only like 5-10 minutes, see how it feels. And then around the area we have some like called like obviously with compression that helps quite a lot. So obviously a bit of a weird one with the hip trying to fit, but if you were to put like for example compression around the knee and then go, what the compression does is it restricts blood for a little bit, and then when you take it off, blood gets sent straight to the area. Okay? So it's kind of like restrict, 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 and then when you let go and loosen, the brain goes, send the load to that area, and it should help. Now, obviously, with the hip, it's a little bit of an awkward area, like around the groin to try and compress. But the more you can compress kind of round here, so tightening up. So not too tight. We're not talking about cutting off blood flow. Like it just feels like it's getting squeezed a bit. That would be beneficial. And then because it's on the left side, in terms of elevating, would you feel, how do you find lying on your side?
That's okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's okay.
So if you were able to lie on your right side and then put a pillow between your legs, your left side will be elevated.
Mm.
So it will be because we're thinking, sorry, apologies. Where that'll be elevated. So we're just looking above the heart. So where it's above the heart, you will then get all four of them. And then it will just be trial and error with that. And then if it gets more and more, if it gets painful or doesn't improve, then I would be recommending having to get it looked at.
Mm.
But that's the best I can recommend from here.
Yeah. And how long should I do that stuff before I try and, or do I at any point try and it's just that my sort of daily routine thing because of my hip flexors going wrong is I used to do a walk and I would just try and increase the steps and I was up to about 4,000 and every time something goes wrong, it just goes back, and the longer I don't walk for, the harder it is, and the fewer steps I have, the longer it takes to get back to anything that's useful. And I don't know whether if I should sort of, well, at what point I should see how far I should walk, or should I be doing that right from the start? So should I from now see how far I can walk with little steps, and then the next day just see if I can do a bit further, and then the next day see if I can do a bit further, or should I
Yeah.
just rest it for a and just do tiny bits throughout the day? And if so, how long?
I would rest it for about a week. I would be doing that rice method, as I've like said, for about a week to just kickstart, just try to get that rest, like your body's natural recovery system to kick in. Then after a week, I would start to gradually try to see how my steps increase. If after a week it doesn't feel any better and it feels exactly the same, then that's when we need to get it looked at, unfortunately, to see if there's something underlying. If it does feel a bit better, then start to gradually increase your walks. But what I would do is try and gauge your walks so that you know you can stop at any point and really like take your time. Or I would always underestimate what you can do. So if you're thinking about doing 4,000 steps, I would go
I won't be able to
less.
do 4,000
That's
steps.
fine.
I'm
But
on to about
I'm just
1,000.
using it as a guide. Yeah, so if
Yeah,
you think 1,000 even, you got to remember, we've got to meet you where you're at. Okay.
yeah.
I know it sucks, you know, I've had before when you can't do what you normally can, it's really like it can get infuriating. But the only way the body can progress, develop is to try and do what feels appropriate in that time. So I'd always go, if you feel like you go, when I do 1,000, that's appropriate and it doesn't leave me in pain the next day, then just stick to that 1,000 for now. And then when we creep up by minimal amounts, like 1,200. Well, not big jumps.
Mm.
Because when we do, what should happen when you start, if you start to feel better, just always think slow and steady. Okay. But like I say, if it keeps playing up, if the first week of trying to can just completely rest it and go through methods doesn't feel better, then there might be something underlying that we're not aware of, like something might be getting tugged, or it might be an area that's just a small muscle. So small muscles, tendons, ligaments take a lot longer to recover, just because they don't get as much blood like to the area. So
Mm.
it will have to be a bit of wait
Mm.
and see with that. But that's why I use about a week, see if it feels better. If it feels better, add a little bit, and I'm talking a very little bit.
And is that I increase it by 200 per day or per week or what?
So I would take it day by day. So I'd add 200
Hmm.
on the first day. If you wake up, go about your morning and you feel good,
Hmm.
you look to increase by 200 again. If you're not sure, don't increase that day.
Right.
It's either if basically only add the 200 if you feel really good.
Hmm.
If you're not sure, just meet yourself where you're at
Mm.
and then build from that.
And
Okay.
then during the day, when I'm not doing the things like icing it or compressioning it, um, do I just potter around with little steps
Yeah.
constantly? So is
Yeah.
it better to do more lots of little steps than not do anything?
Yeah. I would be trying to, because it's a fine line between, we don't want you to be sat down all day, because then the body just starts to seize up and
Mm.
not function clearly. But what
Mm.
we also don't, we don't want you to be like resting on the painful leg or overdoing it too much. So I would just be going like day-to-day tasks. I'd get up. If you feel like you can move, I'd get up, I'd do little steps. No, very small lifting. If you start to feel a little bit tired or feel like you've been your feet, sit down for a bit, up you get again, move around. The more you can kind of potter around and move your body, so even doing things like this, like moving your arms,
Mm.
moving your fingers, moving your head, moving areas of the body that don't feel as
Mm.
discomfort, that's gonna just promote, like that's always going to be promote move getting the body turned on. Because it's your immune response that's going to be the decider here. How much can your body repair itself, and the body always repairs itself quicker with appropriate movement. So I would be trying to, I know it sounds silly, but if you're sat down, for example, can you like do things like that? It keeps the brain, it keeps the body switched on, moving, and it should help with any of that process. And then if there's anything, if we're doing all that correctly and we're not over egging it, and we're only adding, for example, with the steps, we're only aiming to add 200 at a time, or we're only adding very small amounts, the body should start to repair and get stronger and improve again. If it doesn't, then that's a sign that we're doing all these things right. There's probably something underlying. But you can then go in and go, I've not been over doing it. I'm doing all these things and it just doesn't seem to be repairing. That's when then someone would need to have a check and see. But that's what I would recommend for now.
Right. On my left side, of course, I have these hip flexor problems. So like 3 times a week, I do various exercises. And what I have found is that not moving my hip and not doing the walking makes it feel like it's seizing up. But with this new problem, I don't really know how or what I can do to replace the loosening that the walking feels. Would sitting on the step and pretending to walk, do you think that would, I don't know,
Yeah.
when I don't, what I've found is when I don't, oh, hang on, a cup of tea's arriving. When thank you, when I normally have problems and my steps massively decrease, which unfortunately is more often than I would like, when they do decrease and when I do start walking again, I find my steps have shrunk in length a lot, and then as it loosens up again, my steps get bigger. But that I don't think I've ever stopped walking for a week. So I'm not really quite sure what on earth that's going to do to my hip flexors. Because if I can't bend it back, because that's the thing that is making it hurt, at the expense of, well, trying to get one bit healed seems to be like it's going to be at the expense of my hip flexors. That's how it feels.
I understand that, Cara. The reality is they might tighten up initially. That's your body's recovery, that's your body's safety mechanism. So when it tightens up, that's it trying to protect your body from getting injured. So the only reason we get tight is because basically the brain goes, if I give you any more range right now, you're going to get injured. Because, for example, so the reason why that's tightening up and we're struggling to raise your leg up higher is because if your brain just went, nope, and let you do it, you will, like, it could suddenly just cause even more pain. So what we've got to kind of do is like prioritize what do we need to try and repair most right now. So as much as walking's great and we want that and we want loose hip flexors and feeling like we can move, if we are doing that and that's causing you pain and then making you feel like you're going backwards, it's the benefits not outweighing the negative right now. So what we've got to kind of think in this moment is, can we focus on trying to recover the area first? And then we can work that, once that starts to feel better, we can slowly introduce the walking back in. It might feel a bit difficult initially, but we're going one step back to try and go 2 steps forward. Whereas right now, what will happen is if we just keep trying to walk more, it will be a case of 1 step forward, pain the next day, backwards, side, one step, and you end up in this rinse and repeat where you're in the same position. Whereas if we can go one step back, let the body heal, 2 steps, okay, back, let it heal, 2 steps, you start to actually see some progression. But it's what's going to happen is if we do it correctly, when anyone that gets injured or gets pain or discomfort at any walk of life, the hardest part. So I like to use athletes as an example because they're getting injured all the time. But like obviously they're the idea of this pinnacle of health kind of stuff. But when they get injured, the thing that takes so long for them to come back is not the recovering from the injury, it's actually getting back to where they were. So the recovery bit, if we do it correctly, might take a week or two for it to repair. What then takes longer is that all their muscles have tightened up to protect you. We then, once it's recovered, we can start to slowly get your walking back, but we then have to do very mild stretching, mild movements, and loosen you up little by little, and then you actually be better than you were. But initially, it will feel like you've gone backwards. Sometimes we need to actually go backwards for a bit longer, stay there, let your body fully recover, so we can do a bit more. So that's why I don't think that you could still move, you could still active, like in terms of walking, if you're happy to do like very small steps and not aggravate the hip flexor, then great. But that's what I'd be just like it will feel a bit annoying initially, but we do need to give it the body time to do it. And yeah.
So yesterday was a day of almost nothing. The day before was a day of almost nothing, but with a walk at the beginning in which I did do small steps and then stopped as soon as it started to hurt. Do those count as part of the week, or is it not